Mágad Ceann Comhairle, agus I welcome the Minister's statement and the outlining of the process to nominate these 2 new commissioners, culminating with the President's nomination. I think, Minister, you should look at perhaps how the Justice Mary Ellen Ring has been on her own now for over a month, and that should vacancies arise in the future, that this wouldn't happen where we have a vacancy, so that the recruitment process should start earlier. I have no difficulty. I know one name more than another, and I've already referred to Emily Logan this morning in her previous role on the Human Rights and Equality Commission, and the very strong submission they made to the UN committee in relation to the gaps, let me put it like that, in relation to Ireland's compliance with our obligations under the social, political and cultural rights, which my colleague Deputy Pringle had a bill before the Dáil this morning. I also think it's important to point out where the background, and you see, after a while you forget, and we're I suppose, addicted to social media and constantly changing images. But it is important to point out, and I'm glad Deputy Howlin is here because he played a very important role leading to the establishment of the Morris Tribunal. It was established, I think, in April 2002, and the report was finally published in October 2008. And that was set up to investigate complaints concerning some Gardaí in the Donegal division. By 2018, the cost of that, Minister, was 68.8 million and rising. I think it's over 70 million now. And of course, I'm inclined to say the biggest mistake, but I'm not sure if it was a mistake, was to look on Donegal as in isolation, as one county. This couldn't possibly happen in any other county. And that was the worst decision made at that time, and at a huge cost. So we have oversight now. We have the policing authority, and we have the GSOC, and we have the Garda Inspectorate. But it is important to remember how those were really dragged into birth, let me put it like that, from all of what happened among certain segments of the Gardaí. We had the Smithic Tribunal established in 2005, reporting in 2013, the collusion of members of the Garda Síochána or other state employees into the fatal shootings of RUC Chief Superintendent Harry Breen and Robert Buchanan. And the costs of that, 20 million and rising, with the ongoing Charlton Tribunal, of course, to investigate protected disclosures made under the Protected Disclosures Act. Again, 8, 9, 10 million and rising. And of course, my first introduction to the Dáil was the Higgins Commission. And I've got 30 minutes in relation to that, and I read the whole report at the time to investigate certain complaints of Garda malpractice in relation to the Cavan Monaghan division. So gradually, with all of these millions, we realised that what was missing here was oversight, independent oversight of the guards. Many families destroyed, absolutely destroyed, and also the guards who were honest, straight and hardworking must have been in despair at what was allowed. So we're here today to approve the appointment of the nominations by the government, and I have no difficulty with them. But I have to say we've got to learn, and we've got to always remember why we need oversight. And I understand you'll be bringing legislation before us to have a separate type of oversight body. I look forward to seeing that. But in the meantime, we have GSOC that was under-resourced. We had Justice Mary Ellen Ring forced on many occasions to come out and say we are under-resourced. So different governments utterly failed to learn. In theory they did, and put an organisation in place, and then failed to resource it. So Minister, could you tell us today, is it adequately resourced at the moment? And will the 2 new, are there staff vacancies? And will the 2 new commissioners, I hope, take courage and lead in the sense of, if it's not fit for purpose, to clearly tell us as legislators what is needed, and to tell the government in terms of a budget what is actually needed, so that we give meaning to words when we talk about an independent oversight body of the Garda Síochána. And I'll finish by paying tribute to the guards during COVID. And we have got an absolute wonderful picture of what's possible from good community policing on the ground. Exactly what we need in any civilised society are guards on the ground, on the beat, who we can trust. But it's going to take quite some time before that trust is built up in the structures of the Garda Síochána, not the ordinary guards on the ground. Thank you, Ceann Comhairle.